All right. I think we're good. Scott, Jeff, Theron, hey, how's it going? Audio, everything coming through okay? I think so. Oh, I hope so. Sweet, sweet. How is everybody tuning in? Just finished putting in another Exo Alpinus transmission here. This one we got in the class 2 right now. And I'm seeing if I can get this to work. Maybe. Maybe not. I think this might work. DNRC, how's it going? Indy, how's it going? Gary, how's it going? Speaking of, this new awesome shirt there from Gary and Black Betty Designs. And we also do have some more goodies from Gary as well. And we'll actually, I think we'll probably try to put them on the kiddos truck tonight. So, but we have some of his awesome bumpers that are officially out in the wild, getting ready to rock and roll. We'll open those here in a minute. Josh, what's up, man? How's it going? Hashtag Coast to Coast fam in the house. Okay. It's not the optimal placement that I wanted, but I think it's going to work. Jan, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in. But I can put this down yonder. I think that's going to work. We run a nice little 4S. Tiny 3S. That might just work. You make that sure. Well, actually, and you know, it's got the great colors, purple and green there on the colors as well. So, I like that carbon fiber one. Oh yeah, I knew I was going to be putting them on the kiddos trucks, and he has a tendency to just let things rip. So, we went with aluminum all the way around. That should suffice. Gary, you'd be proud. 50-point Lexan. Been working on this for a little bit. Actually, at this point now, everything I think is good to go. I just need to add rear fender liners, and I think I can officially call it good. We do have a full interior. We do have a metal cage on the inside, metal roll bar, and all the scale accessories. Chassis mount servo, transfer case, really bumped up and took a lot of the chunks out of it. And then full interior, drivers, and most of my scale accessories are in the cab too, so I don't have to worry about them falling out. So all that should be good. I'm definitely getting excited. Jeff saw the link to XORC. Man, their chassis colors are smoking. Yes, they do have some really good chassis colors. I have the green. Theron has carbon fiber. I think one of our local guys, he's got the orange, and I think someone else has the purple. So I think we have all the colors local here, and they look great. The colors just pop really, really well. If there comes to be a pink one, I'll have to swap out my green. And you need to get a tubing bender and try and make my hand making some bumpers and cages. And they said I really just kind of really stepped out of my comfort zone lately with all the new build. I've done a lot more metal and bumper work. The bumpers aren't too shabby. I mean, good bumper mounts, stuff like that makes it pretty easy. But I've really kind of stepped out and really kind of went after it, making some cages, working on roll bars and stuff like that. And even this one, I don't honestly think it came out too shabby at all. Just some 1/8 inch right here. Use some RC fab tabs, and then it does have a nice little bend there up. It's within its 3.2 millimeters of the roof and sides, and then I add this little hook on the back of the roll bars for my pendulum, so I don't have anything on the roof because one, it's just kind of a hang up point, and two, with the new rules, 1/8 inch and 1/8 inch, and then wherever your pendulum is on top of that, it could start to getting a little bit taller. So I've been everything. I've just been adding that on the back of them lately, and it's worked out really good. And honestly, I was really happy with the little pink lightning stripes here and everything. This actually really, really popped. And the samurai body, the sumo body, came out really, really good. Just all around good. Did a lot of measuring to make sure everything is nice and in spec. And like I said, I'm very happy with it, the way everything's came out on this one. So, actually, I already have inner fenders made. I just haven't attached any of them. I think this is how. So I need to double check. Is the body attached by Velcro or magnets? It is. I got body posts for my comp trucks. Body posts. I don't trust the magnets or the Velcro enough on something like that. So I just got body posts coming right through the back and some body posts there in the front. I like it all. Ooh, that was loud. Oh, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in. Need the hoop on the back looks cleaner than having it stick out the top of the cap. Yeah, and honestly, it's not a bad, pretty clean look. This one's a little crooked because I was holding everything and then I hit the gun, couldn't see, and stuff moved. But it's holding, so that's what I'm worried about. Function over pretty, stuff like that. May not look the best, and there are tons of people that can do far better roll bars, metalwork, stuff like that. I just need it to function. I need to get my points and do its job, and that works. Scott, looks good. How many points is that at? Currently, it is at 49 points. As soon as I finish my inner fenders. And actually, that's something I need to look at more. I don't know if the old way of doing fender liners or inner fenders is the same, because before we just always had just a flat piece there that basically covered the chassis. But the way it's worded now, it says it needs to cover the area from the body. So it's like, do I need to actually put one like an actual inner fender is on a car where I have a top piece over it? So I've cut everything out to make that. I just don't know if I necessarily need to. I would prefer not to, because just flat pieces would be easier. So all around, yeah, this thing coming out really good. Brett helped me out quite a bit on getting the Lexan set up, gave me a good list on what to shoot for points wise, what I needed to do, and gave me some tips on the interior cage. So big shout out to Brett for helping me get this one done and underway. And I said everything just enough there. We got the bumper just sticking out past the body. Front bumper's good. And I don't necessarily have to worry about filling the rectangle and my gaps, because I'm not going after hard body points, and that only applies for the hard body. So also good. One less thing to worry about, needless to say. Chainsaw, how's it going, man? Andy, speaking of building bumpers, I've got to build a custom bumper for my 84. Little messages popped up. 84 F-150 step sled on the 2000 F350 chassis. Ooh, that sounds very, very fun and intriguing nonetheless. But yeah, so Lexan 50 point, good to go. That battery tray will work for now. It's not the best placement I would like, but for now, it will work until I make some different sliders or something like that. But right now, everything's there, covered up. But and like I said, I changed out the transmission. We've put another Exo Alpinus transmission in the truck, so now it's my Class 2. I pulled out the Creeper T and Ford motor mount, but that was because these are going into my kid's Class 2. These are going to go over to his C1 Pro Class 2 because I need to get his truck pointed out. And he happens to be running a sumo body too. So I will probably be making it a duplicate of mine for his. If not, if he doesn't want to run that body, we can put my Class 2 hard body on his, or vice versa. If I want to run this one, he can run both our stuff. We're all set up for the same mounts and everything, so it makes that convenient. Scott, what does the interior cage have to connect to get the points? It must connect to the floor and dash, or go through the dash. I knew I had the rules because I've been reading all of these. Yeah, inner fender roll must cover and fill the area between the chassis and body. So I think I am going to have to actually make and curve those up and over. I may do that anyway, I guess, just to play it safe. Interior cage. Interior cage mounting points must attach to the floor or to the dash, floor, wheel well, or top of the interior cover. So that one is on top. That is on my floor, and it goes through the dash. So we will do it that way. Yep. And since it is metal, so that is a maximum. I got -3 because that is just a single row. Now, I was thinking about doing the cliffhanger because you can get a second row out of the cliffhanger. And actually, I did pick up another cliffhanger body. I forgot these came out. We got the tough gray body to mess with. So that'll probably find its way here on a build very soon. And it definitely feels thicker than the standard Lexan. So that is definitely good because I broke a lot of cliffhanger bodies just because they were thin, or I would get some tears. So nothing too crazy. It happens. Oh, heck yeah. Corey, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in. SROM, how's it going? Doing good here. Just hanging, chilling out. Okay, not the chassis. Yes, does not have to attach to the chassis. That was one thing I had to double check as well. Like I said, I just cut. I don't know if you can actually see it. I basically just kind of cut a section out of the dash and just kind of shoved the bar through it, kind of. You can tell it goes past or behind the dash. Well, it should count. I hope it counts. But at all events like that, I always make sure I always have extra craft foam and I have extra styrene with me because in case something doesn't work, and Gorilla Tape, because I can make anything with those few things. Nice. Yeah, I didn't. See, I cannot get brazing down for the life of me at times. I know it's just because I'm probably not using the right stuff, and I don't have anything to weld aluminum. So we have a miller at work, so I've been kind of tinkering with that, and that is 1/8 inch tube. So at least it's not solid raw solid rod, so it's a little bit better. Not as light as it could be, but getting there. But as I said, it'll be interesting because reading the rules and everything right now, everything fits. Currently, everything fits and is in its place. And specifically looking. Remembered I needed to look for something. We got lots of stickers. Hey, that's my checkbook. I've been looking for that. Now, I may just have to worry about it later. I had a special roll of tape that was a ruler that I was looking for. Go in there. And I cannot remember where I put it. Oh, actually, I may need those. Those are good looking sliders. Oh well, we'll worry about it later. I ordered more just in case, but I know I have some actual ruler tape that just sticks onto the body. Alex, what's up? How's it going? Thanks for tuning in. Do I have the weight with the body, with interior, cage, and figures and all? Yeah, I can do that. We can do some weight comparisons real quick. And we'll put just a piece on there. So, 298 grams, let me just measure that, which is 10 ounces. So, all in all, so that has full interior for -6, 2 drivers for -8, so there's -14 total. Interior cage makes it -17. The roll bar makes it -19, and then I also have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, I should have 11 skill points in there, so that's almost 30 points of my 50 right there, right? Yeah. So that's a good chunk. And for comparison, this is probably going to be lighter. No, about 11 ounces hard body wise. And I said, could have easily used some different material on the cage, which would have lightened it up quite a bit. Is that actually right? No, that's 10 even. And this is setting. Oh, sorry. There we go. 12 ounces. So I'm saving 2 ounces, which is what it is. But honestly, I kind of like it. And there is a lot of this that I could still trim up significantly. Probably trim out a little bit more. Maybe redo the cage in some different material. And call it good. Well, it might help if we're going to call it what it was. It's not exactly centering the way it would, but all in all, I think it's okay. I'm happy with it. And I have noticed these sumo is, in case anybody was wondering, the Sumo definitely has a thicker Lexan feel to it. I don't know if it was noted that it was thicker, but it definitely feels thicker than some of the other Proline bodies. Definitely feels thicker than like a Cliffhanger or something like that. So, um, which honestly I don't mind because that just means it's hopefully not going to crack, rip, or break, and that I would appreciate very, very much. Uh, oh, sorry. Oh, yes, Brett. Yeah, 300. What was yours? You measured all yours. Yours was way lighter than mine, wasn't it? I don't remember. I'll have to look through the messages. So, all in all, I am happy with it. Um, and 50 points out of Alexa is pretty cool. Actually, this is one I want to measure now. Heck, my C1 hard body is less than that point. Yeah. Like I said, I don't know if is it all from my cage that I messed up? So I used 1/8 inch, which is as small as I could do for the roll bar and stuff. I could do 1/8 inch tube. I didn't even think about that. Okay, there's that. Oh no. I happened to lose a body mount somewhere. Oh well, I'll worry about it later. Cliffhanger interior cage and my drivers is 162 grams. Dang. My floor is Lexan. I think my floor is 060. Is that the difference right there? This is one I really wanted to check. Alex, have I tried the tutus after cutting the inners? No, I haven't yet. Got that done this week. I don't know if I'm gonna get out this weekend because it's supposed to be like 15 degrees or 20, low 20s is what Sunday calls for. So I'm probably staying inside. And honestly, the next 2 weeks I probably won't be calling, as I'll be out of town first weekend of February, and which is honestly not a bad idea because I had a lot of stuff to get caught up on. Dang. Shaved a bit out of it. Hey, what was the stock? What's the stock Hilux weight? I don't have it. I know it weighs less than this thing does. Oh my god. Ah! 12 ounces, it's not bad. Cliffhanger was 162. So yeah, you're half my weight. Craft foam and the brass tube I use. That's, yep. My first one, I can remake that. Learn. I've got to remake that because that is a significant difference using the 060. Because we were slow at work, so I brought everything with me, and I didn't bring an extra sheet of craft foam, so I had a styrene in my toolbox, so I just used it. Lesson learned. Well, hobby cab and back weighs 189 grams. Oops. So that that was stock, weighs 189 grams. So my thing's off because this weighs 350. That can't be right. My scale's off. It's supposed to be 27 tonight and 50s tomorrow. Saturday's supposed to be high 50s. Oh yeah, that would be good. Some good weather. Last weekend was really, really nice. This week's been okay, but this weekend it just looks to be just really, really cold all of a sudden. Yeah, one of our scales is jacked. Yeah, it's got to be. So we're going to ignore those initial measurements because there is no way this body is heavier than a stock one with how much of this body I removed. Okay, we're going to go with Brett's is correct. So mine actually may be significantly different. Yeah, that can't be right. And I'm not digging out my 4-corner scale, so I'll have to remeasure. Scott, I'll shoot me a message, or I'll shoot you a message when it's all done. I know it should be. Oh, weight only. Oh, that was cab only. Oh, okay. I don't know. So, yeah, this one's setting just over 300 grams now. So, I mean, I should have taken out significant amounts, at least probably an ounce or so out of it with how much I removed from the middle of it. Ooh, hey, Brett, well, you're here. Is like packing tape would work for a front windshield? I mean, it doesn't specify anything on thickness. It specifies specifies nothing on thickness. It just says it has to be there and fill the entire wheel weight. Yeah, I mean, it just says it needs to fill the frame. It doesn't say anything about thickness or material. I mean, I've thought about it a couple times. I'm like, because I was going to measure the stock one, and I was like, I can't measure the stock one because this is about half an inch narrower now. So tonight's episode, we are going to demonstrate on why I have to take 2 bodies with me to future comps. So this is class 1. I have my perfectly legal class 1 body. I have the Cross RC body. It even covers my tires, so I can use that body if in case anyone wants to run 2022 rules or 23 rectangle rules. That body's perfectly fine, and it'll come with me wherever I go. But I've mentioned in several of my other videos, and I've talked about it before. I want to do let's push the limits. Let's just see what we can do. And I know I'm probably not the only one that's done this. I'm sure there are several of these floating around there. I know there are several in the making. So I know there are several in the making. I'm sure there are already some out there existing. Okay, so I took about 62 grams out of it. Okay. Oh, 1 second, I missed a couple here. Evan, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in. Are my skeleton guys still legal as far as you know? Yes, they are perfectly legal. Wasn't even a question about it because of the way they changed the figures and watching one of the live streams they did. They said it doesn't matter as long as it is a 5.5 inch figure. Even if I wanted to shove how their quote was, a 5.5 inch Hello Kitty figure in there, as long as it is 5.5 inches tall, full body, it worked. Ivan, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, I'm so bummed that there are a few 2023 rule comps after building on Nutra. Honestly, I agree. That is a little disappointing because with all the new rules, all of the major events that were going to be put on my calendar and ready to rock and roll to, or others that I was thinking about going to, they've ditched the old rules, or ditched the, not necessarily ditched, they're just not adapted to them yet. I know they're waiting. I'm sure everyone's waiting to see the first big comp, and no one wants to be the first big comp with the new rules. But in June, that is happening. Yes, Evan, we will be there in June for the Team Garage Hack for the Rocky Mountain regional event. As far as I know, based on, are there any before that? I think that event will be the first major event with the new 2023 rectangles in full effect. And that's halfway through the year, so that gives people plenty of time to build. It's still far, far out. So that that is going to be exciting. But honestly, the only thing is class 2 and 3, they're going to pass regardless. Maybe. Yes. My 2 and 3, they would pass regardless. No matter which body I ran. Because I'm pinched front, pinched rear, fine. But I'm not cut there into the door, so no boat side. So 2 or 3 mods, I'm good. The sumo, I didn't even narrow the front, the rear, anything like that. The only thing, I cut the door, so that would have been a boat side for class 2. In C3, it's all legal anyway. Even going off of the old rules, it is legal. It is wide enough based on the old rules as well, because that 5 inches was measured diagonally. So I've been perfectly fine. 2 and 3, no matter what rules, they're good and legal, and the points don't change for them either. The only thing that does change is class 1. Because if you build a truck like this, pushing the gray for class 1, it is clearly not legal for 2022 rules. Based on several things. 1, no wheel coverage. And I cut 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch out of the middle of this truck. I narrowed the Hilux. And honestly, I don't think it came out too shabby. But yeah. Chainsaw, it is going to be up by the Beaver Meadows area. Up there by Red Feathers and stuff like that. It's going to be a big event. Tickets are going to sell out really fast. They're going to sell it really fast. Actually, rooms, board, houses, I think, sold out before tickets have even become available. So, satire. Honestly, one of them took me a little bit. I had to change some holes up a little bit. But yeah, that's going to be a big one. Need a ticket to watch? No ticket. There's no tickets to watch. You can come watch and hang out, stuff like that. Just for a ticket for the event, and it is full rectangles, class 1, 2, and 3. So it's going to be awesome. And another easy thing, while I have people in live stream, because I know people cutting shock towers through the bed and still want drop bed points. My other 3 trucks, none of my trucks, other ones, I have drop bed points because they're not needed. But for this one here, I didn't feel like cutting out all the bed this morning. So we have underneath my tarp, which is perfectly fine, covers the shock towers, and it counts as a scale point. So that's a win-win, and I still am able to receive full drop bed points because it is still a full bed, and my shock towers are just simply covered up with a tarp, which is actually, but it works. So it's a win-win. The Clash will be 2023 rules. Yeah, Clash is later in the year, though. Clash is what, September, October? If that's the case, it's just Clash and the Team Garage Hack one that's using the full 2023 to the T rules. Scott, it looks like there's only maybe 3 this year that I'm going to be able to make it to. There's a lot of them canceled out east of my area. I haven't seen, there's been a lot of events either get canceled or just not happening for whatever reason this year. So I don't know. It's the week after Crawlers. Okay, yeah. So still, as far as I know, so this Team Garage Hack event will be the first full run with the new rules, which is going to be fun. I'm sure tech is going to be very, very questionable and stuff like that, because there's nothing to base anything on at this point. There's no one's seen everything at a full rectangle. No one's seen the super sketchy. Because like I said, I know I'm not the only one that's done this. I know they exist. I know there are more coming. Not saying that this should exist. Not saying that this should exist or I should have been allowed to do this, but I am. So I'm doing it. Fall Crawl, Clash. Oh, yeah, duh, Fall Crawl. I always forget. The only ones I know of. Yes. So that's it. And those are the other two are later in the year. So this will be, yeah, that'll be the first big run with the new rules. So I assume at that one, that's when we're going to see, we'll see some sketchy builds. We'll see some things that are like, what? But, I mean, as long, I look at it this way. If you're going to that event or if you're going to any of the 2023 rules and your build's pushing it or you have a very questionable area, like even you question your area, if you, I mean, technically, I guess you don't have to, but I think it would be nice if you have the rules or a screenshot or something in the rules that justifies whatever you're questioning. Now need to. Yep, 3 major. Yep, Fall Crawl. Yes, I always. Yeah, they're all right there at the end of the year. Again, September and October are packed. From coast to coast, they are packed. And that is freaking awesome. I feel like my C1 is pretty conservative, but it should be competitive. Oh, yeah, your C1 is definitely competitive. Oh, man, speaking of, got the trenchers on there. And I was at Hobbytown the other day, and they had a set of Class 1 landmines. And I've ran them before and liked them, so I went ahead and picked another set back up. Just because I've been running the Tusks, and they've been smaller, so I haven't ran 4.19s in a while, so I grabbed a couple sets. And I have the Vanquish tires too, which they were okay. Big thing was on the foam tuning, so. Gary, I think a lot of us are still in the 2022 rules, like until Winter Series is done, then we switch to 2023. Yeah, I could definitely see that. Everyone's finishing up what they're in the middle of right now, and then go from there, which honestly makes perfect sense. That way you're not switching up stuff in the middle. Blind Garcia, what's up? How's it going? Thanks for tuning in. This might get loud, people. Brett, this is your fault. Okay, so then, find a knife. Are you keeping the Class 1, but I don't see any leaf springs? You say, Brett, sorry, you run leafer. No, I do want to build a leafer really, really bad. It will probably be later on this year, probably towards Crawlapalooza, because I know Crawlapalooza at least does run kind of a Class 0. So I didn't do it this last year, and I missed out because I really liked it. It was really fun. So I definitely plan on getting a Class 0 done. Don't know if it'll be leaf spring. I don't know if I'll have time to get it all done, but I'd like to. It's just getting everything timed properly. Having funds and everything available, and then Brett knows what I want to build. I want to do a the Brazen C1 or the Brazen Leafer for sure. There we go. I mean, technically it works. I can't wait to get my leafer back from Metal Masher. Ah, those Metal Mashers are so freaking sweet. I'm still up in the air about ECC because I'm using the 2022 rules. All depends on if I still have trucks that are legal for 22 at the time. Honestly, again, that is another point. Like I said, class 2 and 3, I think it's fairly okay to make them legal for both, unless you are specifically doing pinch in the front, rear, and like boat sides. Unless you're trying to do all three of them, again, I think it'll be okay. But class 1 for sure. If I, like I said, this one right here, this would not even remotely be 2022 legal at all. What up, Tom? How's it going? Thanks for tuning in, man. Metal Mashers. Yeah, that Metal Masher stuff is awesome. For Windows Next Baby toy you get that has clear packaging with cardboard, steal the clear stuff. Works great for Windows and saves buying clear second. Ooh, that's a very good idea. Honestly, I probably have a box full of stuff out there. But for right now, this will work. I said it is not pretty by any means, but technically it works, right? What I should have did was just, I think I joked about it before, is just leave the sticky on the inside and have all my scale accessories in there. So if anything comes out, they just like stick to the window and like don't move. Because it's like scale effect, like a scale crack or like bad tint, right? If I tint the windshield, it'll look like peeling tint. I think I meant, okay, there we go. Click RC doing some transmission shopping. Air 44 axles on a merged chassis. Any suggestions? Do you need transfer case points, or are you just looking for basic transmission to get her up and running? If you're looking for transfer case points, Team Garage Hack or the Exo Alpinus transmission. Of course, Team Garage Hack has all the forward motor mount options, and the merged chassis does have adapters to work with those. Their T cases, they have the 0%, 15%, or the Creeper for 30. The Exo is cool because it does count as a transfer case. It mounts, it's all in one unit, similar to the T210, like that style. Everything's built in, so it counts as a T case. Does not have a forward motor mount, so no third drive shaft. And it has 0% overdrive on one shaft for the rear, one shaft, and then the other shaft makes it 28% overdrive. So also pretty cool if you're messing with some gears. If you want more overdrive or less overdrive, swap your drive shaft over. If you're looking for transfer case style points, stuff like that. If you're not looking for it, I mean, you've always got like Too Low or even good old Axial 3 gear, or like the Deluxe Fab transmission as well. Those are pretty awesome transmissions. Small, low profile. They fit in great places, and they look good, and they work fantastic. I actually need to get one of those for another build I am trying to work on. Justin. Yeah, you got another one of those transmissions too, didn't you, Justin? The Exos. Nice. They're just nice. It makes it nice so you don't have to like worry about all the things. You can just put it in, let it rip, and that trucker skid's really nice because I think that trucker skid maybe, and that trucker skid works with I think would fit several transmissions in style. Actually, I think it would fit just about everything if I recall correctly. Yep. No, all the Exo drivers in here right now. There you go. Need to double check a rule. Tubing. Sliders, bumpers, two accessories. Nope. Roll bar must be fixed to the frame or rigid part of the body so it cannot flex in a weight. Must be within 3.2 millimeters of cab height. Must be within a quarter inch of interior bed side. So it does not have to be close to the cab. It just has to. I'm level with the cab, so we're good. And I'm inside the bed frame, so also another good right there. Well, so it works for now. I'm gonna go in the baby room after this. Thanks, Brett, and go through a couple of packages. As I know there's a few of those plastic stuff in there. I didn't even think about that. It's a brilliant idea. So again, what we're saying is it's for the baby. And that's how we can justify things. We tried for years to figure out how to make a real glass windshield set for my metal masher ball. Ooh, oh. That'd be cool. See, I'm just full of ideas. You are. All your creativity is just amazing. And it is a blessing to us all. No, Wes posted that the other day, so actually I scrap my my bullet build for right now. I'm acquiring pieces. Justin's actually working on a sporty chassis, which I have no idea at all in the world of sporty. I'm going with the flow. I have so many pages and tabs open right now with pictures and screenshots of things. So I think I have most of it. I need to order the deluxe goat tires because everything I've looked at, those are the best tire. Hey, me too. The mullet is going to take over. Shh, I got you, boo boo. What's up, Jake? Thanks for tuning in, buddy. Yeah, I have links that I think will work. Yes, I don't need any like crazy links, do I, Justin? I can just make some shorter shorter front links probably. I have extra shocks because I'm stripping down some builds because I don't need everything. The Phoenix is moving straight over to the Interceptor chassis because that's just what it's going to be. The FJ is going to move over to the Phoenix, and I'm going to use the rest of this Vanquish for other builds. So I have some straight SSDs and other stuff. I got some Air.45 portals to swap to the Kiddo's truck because he needs better steering than the TRX4 axles. Short front links, high clearance rear will work fine. Okay, cool. I got a couple. I went through my link pile the other day and I grabbed a good set of them, good overall set, so I can figure some stuff out. Also, yes, in case anyone does wonder, what is Sorry. My kid has Discord up on this computer, and it was getting a phone call from his friend. Sorry. Sorry, kid's friend. I don't want to feel intrusive if I'm hey, buddy. I'm gonna have to close you down. Oh no. I don't have a clue what just happened, but whatever. Did baby arrive? Yes, yes. Arrived the first week of January. All good and healthy. So definitely awesome. Answer maybe? No. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna. I don't want to intrude on his stuff. He's getting at that age and starting to get a little more of that freedom and stuff. So I've laid down the basic rules, obviously, when talking games online, talking to friends, and stuff like that. Lay down, the basics, because it has changed significantly over the years, for sure. So definitely, good old basics. You don't have to give real names, no locations, anything like that. As least amount of information as possible. That's all you need to know. But I do double check all the stuff, and I have it so if anything weird happens, I get notified too between the consoles, so can't do anything super crazy. Well, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. But yes, actually, if one has mentioned, yes, I do have a stinger in the rear because I don't want to put a stinger on the front necessarily because with the other Class 1 body I don't necessarily have the room and position I want to have a stinger. Same with this body. And also, in the rules, it doesn't specify where a stinger has to be. It just says a stinger has to be attached to the bumper. Front and rear bumper, or front or rear bumper, so I put it on the rear. So, less out of the way, and I still get the point for it. So, okay, I did make sure I actually did read that right now. And stinger, in addition to bumper points, does not count. It must be mounted to the bumper. Yeah, that's all it says. Must be mounted to the bumper. And I'm choosing the rear bumper to mount my stinger to. And honestly, just need to. Now I am at home. So now we can make some interiors. Is there anything else I needed? I need one hitch. Hitch. Should be another hitch somewhere, but it's okay. So now I can actually make interior for this when it's all said and done. But overall, I think all that came out pretty good. Like I said, that first big event when the sketchy bodies and everything really pop up, that's when we'll see some changes. We'll see what goes and doesn't go. But at the same time, it's almost like that first big event because there's nothing to really base it on. If you build within the spec, within the rectangle, there's nothing to say no to. So honestly, that first big one will be the push it all through because at that point, as I said, as long as you're in the rectangle, there is nothing that can stop you. It's like honestly, I can still get more aggressive. I could still honestly cut I can cut all of this out because with the new rules, and it was specified, you can cut out or make bigger your wheel wells and reposition as long as your wheels are centered in the wheel well. It's okay. So if you make that wheel well bigger or move that wheel well back, it's all okay. So definitely all right there. Gave myself a little leeway on the front bumper, but I also have new bumper mounts coming. So I am going to make an additional one because I changed up some suspension stuff and just a few mounts, so I can actually get my bumper up about another 1/8 inch. So should be okay there. And actually, all that came out pretty good. All in all, it is coming along. Yeah, made a few changes here. Ended up having to cut my sliders like almost completely off. So I'll need to make some new sliders right there for it, and then we'll call it good. But for the most part, everything at this point is good, and it does have the same mounting, so I can just switch my bodies around if I need to. Definitely will have to have two bodies with me at comps. Stinking rectangle, why couldn't it just be a circle? Well, you know, it is what it is. And that was, I said, measuring, like doing this, I measured a lot. I cut, I measured a lot. Then I remeasured. Then I laid tape down. Then I reread the rules. I looked at my pictures again. And then just kept double checking. It's mainly checking on my width here in the center, like where it's measured, because the hylux here, it curves at the bottom. And obviously this area is narrow, and it's going to be, this area is almost even or narrower than my track width in a stock form. So then when I'm taking, 3/4 of an inch out of the middle of it or so, I think that's what I took out. Don't quote me on that one, but I took enough out of the material, so it's close. But I need to make sure where it was measured. So it's all in there, where it's measured, how high you can measure things, and the key thing, at full compression. Make sure you get your stuff down where you want it to be. Make sure everything's good and legal. And then just hit it with a nice simple NATO black paint, which actually came out like kind of very nice flat black and kind of grayish. But we have other plans for the body. And the and the things I have coming, the stickers I have coming, will probably be frowned upon. But when they're applied, it should be the easiest truck in the world to tech in when it's all said and done. We'll put it that way. It should be very easy to tech this truck in with the stickers applied. So there's just a few little questionable things that I'll probably clarify just to make sure. So I ordered a couple extra bumper mounts just because I meet the rules. Within the rules, but there's just a little bit of questioning there. And I think I showed Brett a picture of the front one I'm talking about. So time will tell. I think we will all find out here shortly on what all goes and doesn't go. And I really like to know where I put my other screw for this body mount. Is it? Oh, it is that one. Oh well, I guess we'll worry about that later. Sinking rectangle. But all in all, oh my goodness. Shoe glue your scale items down, they won't come out. I find shoe glue my roll bars on the body and they're getting ever nice. Yeah, I do tend to bolt stuff down if I can. Like sand ladders, I actually generally bolt my sand ladders down, or shoe glue. Like back here, I make sure it's stuff that can't fall off necessarily. Like my hitch here is screwed into the bed, it's not coming out. My slider is screwed into the bed, it's not coming out. I do have my scale winch stick. It is shoe glued on. It is not coming off. And then everything else, all my other scale accessories, I got 2 baskets in the cab here behind the seats. Everything's shoe glued into the baskets, and then they're behind the seats, and those seats are taped down. But also, it's inside everything, so they're not coming out on course, because that is that is a big thing. And honestly, that is one rule that I think is one that I don't enjoy a lot, is that at any point in time, if anything comes off your truck or anything like that, it is an automatic repo and repair. So that I'm not necessarily a fan of, because something happens or your winch line breaks and then you're kind of there we go. I think, oh, it's because I put my phone there. Like if your winch line breaks or something like that, it kind of sucks that because your winch line breaks. How about now? Is it any better? Or is it just all kind of going to crap? Check your phone. Yeah. Oh, I knew that's what I grabbed it. Sound. We'll check it over here. Ooh. Oh. Well, then I will be probably hitting you up, Alex, very, very soon. We're going to put the phone back there because it's got to be refreshed and fixed it for me. Okay, cool. It's probably the phone when I put it right there. So we'll put the phone back there and we'll call it good for now. Um, but yeah, the whole, if something breaks or falls off your truck, like, your winch line breaks. If your winch line breaks and you can finish the rest of the course and not use your winch, I think that should be okay. If you choose to continue and you don't have a winch, that's on you. If you want to stop and fix it, obviously, I mean, that's perfectly fine too, but I don't think you should necessarily be forced to. Like a scale item falls off or something bounces out of the truck. I mean, if that were the case and you were actually crawling or trailing out and something falls out, you don't, not all the time you stop right there. You finish what you're doing and then you go for it later. So that's the thing that oddly is kind of infuriating. Or like even, for example, like if, like my hook back here, like if that broke off, I have to stop right then and there. And that's not necessarily something I can fix right there. So I would just have to tuck it in the truck somewhere and hope it's perfectly fine. But I said that I'm not necessarily huge on because the roll bar would still be intact, but this honestly serves no actual function. It's no point or anything like that. It's just an additional part of the truck. So it is what it is. I mean, we'll make do. We'll see how it goes from there. And is there anything else? I was working. I do need to work on some things. But in addition to that, and honestly, nothing. Nothing else super crazy coming on. I said we'll have some more chassis and stuff coming up here in the future. So I do finally have everything for the Dragon chassis, and I got the Class 3 from my sister. So it's actually, I got it tore down the other day, got all the links and everything assembled. So I'm actually going to start putting this together and get it up and running. So definitely excited for that one as well. It's been a long time. Just been getting everything acquired for it. Has taken just a little bit of time, but we got it nonetheless. You see, they changed the shooting gate rule. The dividers you only need. Yes, I did see that because that was a big thing. Because you're like, I mean, there's just certain instances and stuff like that where it just happens. But honestly, the biggest thing in all of that, it comes down to the courses. It all comes down to how the courses are built and designed. Now, that's where majority of problems and such lie. Is it's all in the courses. I mean, if you build a crazy course, you're gonna have crazy stuff. So it's gonna happen. If you build the course where you're shooting gates, you have no options. So if anything, I think what those rules were trying to pressure were course builders. In all honesty, that's who would be affected the most by it, is on how people build their courses and stuff like that. So me, I build a lot of courses, so I would definitely have to pay attention to quite a bit more stuff than I normally would, because I'm like, oh, they can't. It's like, oh, they can just shoot it. No, they can't. So then I have to, kind of change that up. How was I gonna build this? Stuff like that. But yes, I was glad that they did change that one. It's still, a few of those things really put a lot of pressure, um, not just on like I mentioned, on course builders, but on judges too, because a lot of that is judges' call. Um, a lot of that goes on the judges, how they call it. What one judge sees as shooting a gate, another judge may not. I mean, is how much wheel speed is too much wheel speed to be or how much wheel speed is needed to be considered shooting the gate? I mean, that can honestly be a personal preference. I mean, someone could creep up to a gate, bump the throttle, and the front tires, move a little bit. That could be shooting at gate, or it has to be, full full throttle, 4S, and the car is flying. Then is that shooting the gate? So, a lot of that really came down. It's all personal preferences. A lot of those rules, and that's something that necessarily shouldn't be in there. It shouldn't leave room for interpretation. It needed to just be plain cut and dry, which they tried, but the plain cut and dry part was open for interpretation. So I think that was also the main reason for changing it again. So that just opened up a lot of room for interpretation. Cool, we can still cargo downhill. But yeah, and also I've not necessarily like on purpose, but I've done that where the truck took just the weird tumble, but it I had one where it cartwheeled perfectly right down the middle of the gates. Perfectly fine. I cleared both gates. I made progress. Everything was good. I've had other times where, for whatever reason, where I was making the progression down into like a gate, and the truck just decided to flip or something just slid, and it landed on its roof and then slid on its roof perfectly through the gates, right down the middle, all the way down, hit the bottom, and then landed on its wheels. It was like, style points works for me, but it's not legal now. It's not like I tried to do it on purpose, obviously, but sometimes stuff happens. I don't mean to do some of the things I do, but if it happens and it works, I'll take it. I think a lot of people haven't read the revision all the way. Yeah, I think that because I've seen several questions that they were pertaining to like the old rules specific. I'm like, now those were all changed with the newest one. So definitely a lot of people haven't gone through there. I went through a good amount of it when the revision came out, because I did remember seeing that, but I haven't really honestly looked at it since then. So I need to do a good thorough read through on them again, just to make sure everything's good. And plus, since it is about that time, in case there are events, because I do want to at least run a few here locally with new rules. And like I said, I'll probably do a break. If someone wants to still use the old rules right now, that's fine. But I want to get some practice in and driving with the new trucks, the builds, and everything they are, and see how it all goes. Customer C Pro, what size are my Tuscan C1? C1 Tusk 3.93 inches. And I actually just sold those. Today, actually. Or got rid of them. Someone's picking them up later. People don't keep checking on the roll down and look when it's posted all over it. Yeah, I mean, I've got the drive file, I believe, updates anytime there's a change. So I do at least always check my OneDrive just to make sure nothing's updated, make sure everything is still good and rectangly legal. So call it good. So I am still very excited overall for everything coming up to it and everything, I think overall was good. The rules needed changed, they needed updated, stuff like that. So definitely, I said nothing honestly too shocking or crazy. A lot of the stuff we knew was going to be coming. No, you were looking. You wanted 4.19. We talked about this. You said you wanted to stay 4.19. As much as I love the Tusks, I do think the 4.19 with the new rules more of a benefit to run taller tires. Just for rectangle purposes. Don't get me wrong, the Tusks are still a great C1 tire, and I still thoroughly enjoy them and would still recommend them. But I have changed back up, trying to get back to full 4.19. I need to find someone to print them for me. I tried reading them off on the phone. Yeah, I mean, I have them, the phone and the iPad, just something with a bigger screen here and there. But printing them off definitely makes it pretty easy. So you can go through and you can mark stuff and stuff like that. Would you want portal or straight axle for C1? My C1 got transferred to a base 410, trying to decide on straight axle or Class 1. I highly recommend portals on Class 1. Don't get me wrong, straight axle C1s can very, very well perform. It's, again, that's a big it's a big preference one, really. Some people just cannot stand portals, and some people just do not like straight axles. So it is real personal preference. It doesn't necessarily matter to me. I can drive both. I enjoy driving both. And I go through my phases where I'm feeling better with straight axles, I'm feeling better with portals. But Class 1, I do recommend. I think portals are a good choice for Class 1 because with small tires, it helps make up some of those clearances and stuff like that. So now, F10s are a little wide. So F10s are a little wide, so you're definitely going to have to. Actually, I don't have to say that anymore because you don't have to worry about tire coverage anymore. So never mind. Disregard that last one. But also, one thing with F10s, some wheels, you may have to do additional trimming on the portal boxes to get everything to clear. And I think that's pretty much it. They do require a little finesse. The odds of me that found where that landed were slim to none. So that's actually impressive. I'm very happy. And the last one here. What's my favorite class? 1, 2, or 3? My favorite class actually is Class 1. I like Class 1 a lot. Class 2 is fun. Class 2 is definitely the most competitive class, I say for sure. It always just has the higher volume and everything else like that. But Class 1 for me is definitely my favorite. It's my favorite to build, and it's my favorite to drive in. Just to see truly what the tiny tires can do is freaking awesome. But honestly, I've really, since Nationals a little before, I've actually had quite the hankering and really starting to get really fond of Class 3. Started to really get all of that dialed in, figured out, getting my C3 driving style better. I don't know, still not great, obviously, but definitely getting four-wheel steer, learning the situation, all that, much better, I think. So definitely good there with it. And also the whole setup and everything for see-through this year. Like I mentioned last video, I'm really excited for see-through this year. Definitely excited for it. But class 1, yeah, this is the overall build for class 1. The rules, make sure everything fits, is fun. Light. Hey, there on Justin. Our cash comps, we use light, right? We don't use our P scale. We don't necessarily have to fit. We don't fit the new rectangle rules for that, right? Which means I can use this. Deluxe, yep, no problem. Thanks for tuning in, hanging out. Nope. All right, cool. So, what you're saying is, I can use the holiday buggy. Yeah, out there we barely run anything from but C2. Yeah, and I mean, like I said, C2 is the most popular because you can get almost anything to fit in Class 2. I mean, you can take RTRs and technically go run Class 2. You do any bit of body modification or anything like that. Like Class 2 vehicles, the majority of vehicles just fit in Class 2. If they're no, I can't use the holiday buggy or not. It's pretty sketchy, but pretty. Man, in that sense, is that set lower than me? Debatable. Fine. Worry about it later. Customer C, would I save the F10s or get some Amazon special Air 44 portals? I mean, definitely not the Amazon Air 45s because honestly, other than the fact that you might get lucky with the housings that hold up, the rest of the Air 45 inside will not at all. The gears, the axle shafts, everything will break. Probably your first run out. So then you'll have to be changing all it out to at least axial stuff, which is still a pretty good price point, but you'll want to upgrade to Vanquish or Super Shafty on the parts that are available. So I would go with the F10s. Our solid axle, they have great turning, and the plastic housings slide extremely, extremely well over obstacles and surfaces and stuff like that. F10 portal build will be one of my next ones, which is one reason for changing some things out because so I have Air 45 portals for the kiddos truck. Unless anyone local has some F10 axles they want to trade for 45s. That would be cool. So I will put the Air 45s on his Class 2, and he has built TRX4 axles on his. So I'll take the TRX4 axles off, and I'll probably put them on my Truggy build just so it's more bulletproof because those are solid metal housings and stuff. Really nice ones. So then I'll pull those Phoenix axles off, and I can have another build. Yes. Much better. If you haven't built or driven a Reaper, I highly recommend it. Super, super fun. Everything there. Clearance and all of these are awesome. Air 44 SSD diamonds are my favorite. SSD diamonds are beautiful because you can get them center or offset, which is super awesome. So they have compatibility. And there's a lot of aftermarket guys that use those axles and do other stuff on them. So I have F10s on my C2, but since BS410, I was thinking F10s, but I couldn't decide. Yeah, if you already have F10s, I would definitely choose F10s over any of the Amazon special axles for sure. And so they're going to be sold choice. And I guess it really depends on what rules you have. I mean, with the new rules, you don't have to worry about tire coverage. So they're fine. You know, certain wheels, maybe a little hub bigger or just a little bit of grinding on the Phoenix portal box, and they clear everything. So no need to worry there. Starting to build a little bit of a collection there. Okay. need to work on getting the kiddos truck pointed out. So we're gonna sort of light, so I have to worry about tire. Oh, I mean, honestly, you can still get it with F10s. They're not like crazy wide. They are a touch wider. So definitely some good wheels for covering them in and stuff like that. And you'll be fine. But they're a solid choice. Lots of people run F1, F10s in in Class 1 straight or portal versions. Perfectly fine. That's right. What else was it? Something else I was going to mess with, but I don't know what it is. I had what body would I run to? And that's big part. Well, since you have to worry about coverage and stuff like that, you're going to Hilux, of course. Hilux is just going to be the easiest. It just is. Some of the other bodies, you might have to be a little skinny, stuff like that. But depending on your wheelbase, if you're going with that 11.3, just go with the good old-fashioned Hilux. And said with the new rules, sky's the limit. Everything. Or cross RC bodies are actually really nice. And apparently that is like the body of the year too, because those are popping up everywhere. So I should just move. I'll just move that to that. It'll be easy. But check this out right where. Oh, hey Theron, do those hubs fit in the wheel? Does that actually fit the other set I have don't fit? So those actually fit? If they do, I need some. Oh, but I was going to build both, but so I can be competitive if I can go to Sork event. Well, what you do is you could take both bodies. You can get two Hiluxes. This is going to be your cheapest option because you can get a cab for $15 and a bob bed for another 20. So like $35-40 per body. So $80 you can have two Hilux bodies. Get you a couple grills, or you can have some with 3D printed grills. That's a much cheaper option. That's what I had Theron doing mine. So then you can build a Hilux body for the 2022 rules and tire coverage just fine. Blur your fenders, call it a day, and then you can go wild with the new rules. Ha. Do these fit? No. My googly eyes don't fit. Oh, actually, they do. They just legit just pressed them in there. Ah. Yeah. That makes me happy. Oh, no. There we go. All good. Disaster avoided. Sweet. So we're not. We build appropriate without some googly eyes in there. was extra goofy because the grill and everything's all good. Coco, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in. Oh, it's all good. You're here catching the end of it. Probably about to wrap it up here pretty soon. I guess we'll see what tires are on my class one now. Currently, I just got a pair of trenchers to try out. And if I don't like those, I have some landmines. So, picked up, and I also have the new Vanquish 4.19 tire. So, which I have been running for a while, but wanted to try a little bit all around. Like I said, I've been running the Tusk for a long time since the C1 tests were available. So I've been down to the smaller tire and everything. But with the new rules and everything, I just felt like with the 4.19 size and how certain things were measured off tire size for build purposes and stuff, I think it was more beneficial to jump back up to the 4.75 or 4.19 size. So that is what I did. So I ran them before, but I grabbed a few little sets of everything just to see, and it's been a while. And actually, the last time I ran full-size Class 1 tires, the trenchers were not out yet. But I ran and loved the trenchers in the 4.75. So I figured it was a safe bet to get these and enjoy them. I'll watch it all later when I do my own wrenching. Nice. What you got working on? Customer C, thinking about taking my C1. Even if it's not all done, to come this weekend along with my C2 and 3. But hey, honestly, if it's a stock VS410, throw some tiny tires on it, throw a body on it, and go have some fun. It'll be just fine. A friend of mine loves the trenchers. Yes, the trenchers are really good. Just one thing, if I do, he said they like loose mud and stuff like that. I know these tend to clog up a little bit, so we'll see. I do plan. He said these are stretched on 2.2 wheels, which again, I went with one. I think the 2.2 wheel looks good, but also the 2.2 wheel is beneficial again when measuring things for a rectangle. But I probably will pick up another set of 1.9 tires and foams to get the landmines all mounted up so I can have both sets good and ready to rock and roll. I didn't need the tool to put my wheels together. Nice. Well, did you do anything? Did you trim out the sections, the triangles? I mean, I didn't need the tool. I got it together. I just didn't like it. They were a little tight, but man, they feel. You could feel the difference before you give them a good squeeze, and you felt them like before and then after you trimmed them, much better feel. Coco got a Phoenix portal kit waiting for me, and for the Lexan FJ60 bike. Nice. Always fun to build a Phoenix portal. Actually, all the Phoenixes are fun. Actually, all the Vanquish kits are fun. But I'm doing the F10 straight axles. Nice. Much better. Yes, told you. I think Mike did the exact same cut. He said, I trimmed the rear as well, but like I said, that was just to experiment. He said, if I don't like it, I can put tuning rods back in it. So it's not like I'm wasting or ruining a foam. I can put it back, kind of. So, but so yeah, I plan to pick up a set of 1.9 wheels for these, and some more foams. I need to get another set of C1 foams ordered because I don't have any. All the extra foams and things I have laying around here, I don't have many Class 1 foams. I do have these, but I don't know what size they are. They were in a car I got on trade. Are they from here? Oh. Well, those are weird. I think these, I don't know, Lucas isn't watching, but I think these are the crazy crawler foams. They were in the Gen 8 that I got for Tristan. But those might be. I think these are the crazy crawler Class 1 foams. A little stiff though. Yeah, I'm not feeling that. I have extra C1 anti. Do you really have extra C1 anti? How do you have two extra C1 anti-foams? And one, two, three. I should one more tuning disc somewhere. I should have one more. As I have the tuning, I have the 4.1 tuning discs. 3 of them. I don't know where the 4th one's at. Oh, okay. In the Vanquish tires. So I have a full set of tuning discs, so that'll actually come out very nicely because I know the landmines are a little wide. So, yeah, just plenty of stuff to try around and stuff like that. Look at my phone. I was trying to avoid in case it messed up. Ooh, those are pretty. Nice. Ooh, look at you doing the cool stuff on the table. You make me so proud. Yeah, sorry, but there were a few mess ups on the tires. I glued everything in, and I did it differently this time. I left them on the foam and glued the tread together, which worked way better gluing the tread together. And then I was like, all right. And I started doing a little bit of the sidewall. Then I was like, I have no tuning rods in mine. And then I was like, I need to get the foam out. When I pulled the foam out, I ripped a couple of them, like ripped the glue right back off, and was like, so then I tried to fix them as best I could and threw a little bit more in there. But they should do the job. Don't need tuning rods with alt foam. I'd like to see them side hills as good as anti foams. The side hill and anti foam, I think, is still second to none for being as soft. You should have got my template for Theron. Did you 3D print a template, or did you make a template? I need that template because Steve wants me to do a set of C3 tires. Yes. Can I have one, please? That will come out amazing. I assume it's just a little pie section for making sure you cut out the right amount. That would be amazing. Yes. Can I have one, please, Justin? They do say that. Sweet. Thank you, Justin. Yeah. I don't know. The side hill that's just been my favorite about them. And I said, I can tune that tire exactly how I need. Exactly how I need. And that's what makes it a fantastic foam. And I can even tune each tire, each foam individually if I need to. I don't because I'm lazy, but I can. But I do enjoy that. Or it's just nice because if I do change up something, like a new body or new weight or something like that, if I need to change something, I can take the tire out, I can take the foam out, and I can change it. I can make it lighter, I can make it thicker, I can do all of that. I should have said, I'm sure they do. I have to get a sense. I said, it's always about trying different things and stuff like that. And some foams just work better with certain tires. I found that a lot. Like you can like a certain foam a lot. And then certain tires, they may not just work good. And that's a lot to do with the tire compound itself. Rather, the tire itself is like a natural, like bouncy tire. Or, something soft. Like there were a couple of like the trail spec KLRs I had. Like the certain foam, I had the exact same truck. I used the exact same foam. I took off the same KLR and comp and put on that tire with my same foam setup, and it did not work. I had to change foams and change the setup because that tire was just different. So always nice to experiment, see what's out there, what works best with what, and stuff like that. Raymond, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in. Like the Vanquish tire is kind of picky as well, because I mean it's soft, it's grippy, and I love the freaking tire, but it is picky on its foam combinations. So it's another set somewhere. Oh, right here. Took me a little bit. They're making the SX6 foams for now. I've been waiting for those. Oh, actually, I need to get the SX6 needs some love. So I need the cliffhanger body and body post for the SX6, and they have tusks for the SX6 now, and I need those because I like the tusks a lot. When I ordered the tusk, I thought about ordering landmines from RC1. I've used landmines before, and they worked really, really good. I don't know why, and then they've worked good. There were a few areas where they wouldn't like clean out all the time, but overall they were a good tire. I don't think I was disappointed with them at all. Really, they worked really, really good. The tusk came out, and the tusk overall performed better. They just do, in honestly all their sizes. The tire is just amazing. C2, make your own C3 tire if they work good. I am curious though, because they have jumped on the S66 game with the tusk to make that, and the Pro Lines came out with their C3 size high racks. I'm really hoping or curious to see if J Concepts does the same. That would be really good, because and they could do that with the Landmines Tusk and the Hunk. Would all three be solid options? They need to make a Tusk 4.19 and not, yes, true. The Tusk, if they I would like to see a true 4.19 Tusk for sure. If they bring that back out, that will be on here immediately. I said, the C1 Tusk, even being small as they are, perform insanely well. I just specifically wanted to increase the height with the new rules and new build. So that's my only reason for taking them off right now. But all in all, I think my windshield maker packing tape, tools. But anyways, I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up for the night. Got some things to finish up and stuff like that, and it is almost bedtime. So anyways, as always, thanks everyone for tuning in. Appreciate everyone hanging out, stuff like that. So much appreciated. So as always, everyone, hope you all have a good rest of your night and great upcoming weekend. So till next time, everyone, have a great one. Crawl on.